Hello, my name is Johnny Ray Cornell Jr. and I'm making this video to talk about neutrinos, where they come from. Uh, did you know that all neutrinos in this universe, according to my model, used to be positrons in the down quark? They stop spinning and lose their charge and are launched from the neutron after beta decay at almost light speed. Okay, there needs to be a lot more said than that. We'll start out with this. This is the electron. What's marked bosons are fundamental strings that spin. These fundamental strings that spin bond together and create the electron. Each string is the fundamental string of string theory. Instead of expressing its identity and energy by waves along the circumference of the string, it remains rigid and spins either right or left to generate charge. Well, if it doesn't spin, it stays together, but it still will not generate a charge because it's not spinning in either direction. This is my model of beta decay. What is happening is a 6-string gluon, a positron, and an electron, which is a down quark. Because, as I've said before, quarks are leptogluons. And it loses 2 string energies from 6 to 4 and becomes an up quark. The gluon on the leptogluon of the up quark. The up quark has an electron in the center and a positron on the outer lepton, because the electron will bond to the positive gluon easier. This positron will bond to the negatively charged gluon at negative 1/3 charge easier. It'll bond much easier. And plus, these two together, total charge is 0, because -1 plus +1 is 0. The only charge that is expressed is the gluon charge, and that is a charge of negative 1/3. That's why the down quark has a charge of negative 1/3. We see that during beta decay, and I don't know what initiates beta decay, I'm still researching it, what initiates it in the neutron. It's just an instability in the neutron, and I am very much interested in solving that mystery as well. This pair of leptons, the positron and electron, are ejected here and become an electron and a neutrino. Well, how the positron becomes a neutrino is it's sandwiched between a newly emerging positron and the electron's charge, and it stops the positron, which a positron looks exactly the same as this, except it's spinning in the opposite direction is the only difference. And you would know if you watch my prior videos, which this channel is like a math book. There's no video that's superfluous. They're all put out for a reason and in a row, in order, so that you get what you're supposed to get in order of getting it, so that you learn step by step, so that we understand both CERN's point particle theory, and we understand CERN's proton, and we understand mine, and we understand their theory, and we understand mine. In a comparative way, I'm teaching this, so you know I'm not teaching hokum, or you know I'm not a crackpot. Anyway, and if you've watched my prior videos, you will know why the strings, what the strings are. Well, anyway, the string stops spinning. It cannot generate a charge. And something in the neutron launches that neutrino to nearly light speed. And it can't be electromagnetism because it's a neutral particle. What force launches that neutrino to light speed? I've identified a new force in nature, and the empty space you see around you is not empty. It's full of energy. It's frothing with energy that's pushing the galaxies apart, that's making quantum fluctuations on the background extremely energetic. And there's a lot of energy for the particles to use to spin or to launch themselves. Well, when it's that neutrino, this is exactly what a neutrino looks like. It's just spinning. This, and the weak force is bonding each one of these bosons, or fundamental strings, what we will call them, fundamental strings. The reason I call them bosons is because they turn a light wheel in a light wave. You can shine a flashlight at a light wheel and it'll spin the wheel. And that carries force, so it's a force carrier. So by definition, the photon is a boson. So I call it a boson. But it's a fundamental string inside the light wave that bonds to create electrons, positrons. And all positrons, or all neutrinos, used to be positrons. And there's 3 breeds of neutrinos because there's 3 separate sets of quarks in the standard model that undergo beta decay. Did you catch that? There's 3 separate, not quarks, there's 3 separate neutrinos, 3 species of neutrino, because there are 3 separate positive negative quark pairs that undergo beta decay. So we've identified how the weak force holds it together by the fundamental strings spinning, generating the weak force charge, as we've seen in later videos. So that's pretty much my theory on the neutrinos. And I think I've identified a new force in nature, or what force launches the neutrino. This needs to be studied. What force launches the neutrino from a standstill in the neutron, and during beta decay launches it to nearly light speed? It can't be electrical. It's neutrally charged. So in prior videos, we've seen that the fundamental string remains rigid and spins right or left to generate charge and bonds together into larger strings called electrons and positrons. Those positrons become neutrinos during beta decay. How they become neutrinos is how I explained. They get the one more time, just for clarity, this pair of leptons is emitted off of this gluon. Two gluon string energies are deposited on the outside of the gluon as an electron and a positron. And this is my model of the quarks. This is an up quark. These rings are spinning while attached. The gluon is spinning while attached by the weak force right here. It's attached by the weak force right here and right here, how these particles are attached. And the weak force attaches them at the pole to keep the gluons together. I think that's pretty much all I want to cover in this video. The takeaway is how the neutrino is produced by being in between not the gluon, the neutron. The neutrino is produced by being sandwiched in between the electromagnetic field of the outgoing positron and the incoming positron and the outgoing electron, and it electromagnetically stops it from spinning. Okay. Well, thank you.